Okay, so thanks to my peoples over at Alternate Current, I've just had a chance to check out Shane Meadows' fifth film, Dead Man's Shoes. I think it was the fifth. It might have been the sixth. It is around that time, right? Came out in 2004. So it's just coming up to 19 years, which, feels kind of crazy. So Meadows, he directs. He also co-writes with Paddy Considine and Paul Fraser. The film is produced by Mark Herbert, executive produced by Steve Beckett, Peter Colton, Will Clark, and Tessa Ross, co-produced by Louise Meadows, and line produced by Barry Ryan. The Apex Twins and the Leisure Society handled the music, and Clay Hill. But I think that's what there's a few different people working on music. Danny Cohen handled the cinematography. Editing duties went down to Celia Hanning, Lucas Roach, and Chris White. Carol Crane was on casting. Production design is Adam Tomlinson. Art direction, again Tomlinson. Hair and makeup, special effects, we've got Tristan Versluis. And our cast. Well, Richard is played by Paddy Considine. His brother Anthony is played by Toby Kebbell. We then got Sonny, played by Gary Stretch. Herbie, played by Stuart Wolfendine. Soz, played by Neil Bell. Tough, played by Paul Sadot. Big Al is played by Seamus O'Neill. Marie is played by Joe Hartley. Mark is played by Paul Hartsfield. Patty, Emily Aston. Gypsy John is played by George Newton. Craig is played by Craig Considine. Matthew is played by Matt Considine. We've got Elvis, played by Andrew Shim. That's probably the main group. So the film is about this. Richard has always protected his little brother Anthony. Richard is strong and fair, while Anthony is loving and gentle. When Richard leaves the rural village where they have grown up to join the army, Anthony is taken in by Sonny, a controlling and vicious local drug dealer, and his gang of lads. Anthony becomes the gang's pet and plaything as they initiate him into their sordid worldly ways. 7 years later, Richard returns, and now it is on. Returns for revenge. All right, so we open up and we have like this video montage, like a photo album, essentially. So we see, young Richard and his brother. That's what you're assuming, right? So we see all of these clips and everything. And then that's cut and interwoven with two men walking across fields, right? Walking across fields. We learn that's Richard and Anthony, right? So, all the montage is the past, them walking, that's current day, right? And so, I think with this film, there is a lot that you kind of need to pay attention to, because there's things that seem like they're throwaway, but it's actually, and we learn this, You know, it's things that are telling us what's actually going on, right? Actually telling us what's going on. It's all in the fine detail. But yeah, we see, you know, these drug deals going on and things like that. And, you know, we're drip fed this information that a lot of what's happening, you know, is Richard taking revenge for the people that bullied his brother. Right? You don't really know, but we see a lot of these flashback scenes. Some of them are in black and white, some are in color. And yeah, like there's times when it just seems kind of playful but mean. And then there's just out and out just foulness, right? Just mean, horrible, nasty, just torture, right? And it's just, it is terrible. But there's so many people involved, and no one is saying, nah, not today, not on my watch. Leave the kid alone. It is all, it's not good. So you're kind of like, well, we don't really know a lot about Richard early on. So you're kind of just like, well, what's going on, right? What's the end goal here? But you don't feel sad. You don't feel sad for any of these people, because they're pieces of shit. And it's not even one of those where, you know what I mean, people do some bad things when they're younger and they grow up. These people have not. Clearly, they have not grown up, right? They have not become better people. They're still the local scum. They're still the local drug dealers and bullies. So we're getting to see all of this. Now, there are bits where, I don't know, I wasn't necessarily convinced by some of the interactions between the thugs, as it were, and some of the things they're doing. Like there's one instance, there's a situation with a jacket, and we see the dude still walking around in the jacket, and I kind of feel you're taking the jacket off. You're not gonna keep wearing a jacket. But what really works, like we have some really good camera work here, and the use of close-up, right? The use of close-up, so you really get into someone's psyche at times, right? Where you see the fear, right? Where you see the cockiness, the attitude, the bravado, right? That's what these close-ups give us on these characters. And that, that is very good. It is very good because it's these scenes that really give you that like insight into who these motherfuckers are. And that's really powerful. That's really powerful, and it ties you into this film. It really does. You know, there's things that you want, like, why do these people hang out with fucking Sonny? Right? He's not a good dude. Like, why are they hanging? Especially, you know, the girl. Like, it's just, yeah, it's baffling. But people people can get caught up in someone else's spell. I think we've seen it millions of times. So it's one of those things that you're like, why are you hanging around with him? But you don't kind of be like, that's unfeasible, right? Because I think we've seen it. We've all seen people be led and that will do crazy things that they would not do if they were just on their J's. You feel me? So all of this is just, now there's a bit, I feel it's the last third of the film where I think the full magnitude of everything hits, right? We understand what exactly has been going on. And when you see that, boy, it hits hard. It hits fucking hard, right? You just feel so, I mean, I did anyway. I just felt so fucking sad. Oh my God. I felt terrible. And you're also like, oh, Meadows, you clever motherfucker. You clever motherfucker. Right? Because, yeah, I mean, you may have seen this film. If you haven't, then yeah, this will. Oh, it is very well done. Very well done. The acting is good. Acting is very good with all of the cast. You know, because yeah, it's. I think you've got all of these pieces of shit, right? But you've got the ones who are straight thugs, and then the pretends, right? Who act, you're happy to act all big, but when the others aren't around, right, it is hard to keep up that bravado when you ain't got backup. And so we see all aspects of these characters, and man, this group of actors really give us that very well. Yeah, it's handled really well. You know, I wasn't necessarily a fan of some of the panning shots, the aerial shots, but yeah, that real character work, oh, it is a standout. It's a straight standout, you know, so it was just fascinating. Now, if you were like me and you hadn't seen this film before, it is coming back to cinemas. So it will hit cinemas on the 15th. I don't know how long the run is for, but I know it will be hitting on the 15th around the country. Some screens will be in 35 millimeter. So if that's a big thing for you, right, you can keep an eye out for those screenings. And then I think the others are just normal, right? But yes, Dead Man's Shoes. This is, now, it is one of those films that is revered. You know, where people throw it around as one of Meadows' best. And after watching it, I have to say it is fucking good, people. It is fucking good. Now, it is not, it is not PG, right? It's not for little kids. Because there's some hard stuff up in here, you know. But if you're a fan of Meadows, then this will work very well. You know, it's kind of like the forebearer to some of Guy Ritchie's opuses. So yeah, if you're a fan of Ritchie, if you're a fan of Meadows, right, and he's got a filmography, all right, other, the TV stuff as well. So if you enjoy all of that, then Dead Man Shoes is definitely for you.